Hello everyone and welcome back to DSP versus the Internet. This is now part 4 for episode 53, February 25th, 2024, by the way. And we are now heading to the submissions tier videos. These are people who all submitted videos. I think there was around 30 of them this week. And they go into a randomized order playlist. We just hit play and we see what comes up. And if we end up getting bored or whatever, we can easily hit the reshuffle button and watch more. But we're starting here with, of all things, a video from my own playthrough of Dead Rising 2 from 14 years ago, before direct capture, before live streaming. I played Dead Rising 2 and had a hard time with the game. A lot of it was co-op, so I'm curious what part this is. I don't know how much we'll watch, but let's see what the part this is. I have no idea.
Where the fuck is the food going?
So it's me and John Rambo.
Yes, there's plates of food. It's all gone.
Your food vanished? What the
Yes,
hell?
the food's gone. Even more now.
The game was fun, but definitely had a lot of bugs and issues, if I remember correctly.
That's the mission we gotta do later.
Fast forward a little bit, because it looks like we're just fucking with the menus. Yeah, here we go. So in Dead Rising 2, you're in a mall, and you have to rescue a bunch of people, but there's also all these missions and things to do, and then we were at the hub area.
Did you grab the axe?
No.
Ah, shit. Damn it.
God damn it.
And isn't it true if you do the co-op, aren't you both the same character? Am I wrong in saying that? Because I can't remember with the co-op how it works.
Motherfucker. Do another fucking 60 seconds to get an axe. I guess we'll each just get one.
Well, let's get to the actual action. Right now we're crafting. It's pretty boring. Okay, now we're out in the mall. Here we go. There's the zombies grabbing. Hey, I think you needed this item for something. Like this. There's the reason I'm holding this is because it was needed. If I remember correctly, like you need it for a mission.
Looters.
Looters in the middle of zombies, huh? You know, for the time, because this is what, almost 14 years old, the idea of a co-op game like this was pretty unique. Like, two people doing a full-fledged co-op over the internet 14 years ago was not a common thing. Today, this is a lot more of a common thing, this idea of over-the-internet co-op with 2 or 3 people. But back then, it was a rare thing, for sure.
Zombie janitor still works here.
Still pushing the bot.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this was at the height of the zombie craze. Dead Rising 1 and 2, all the Walking Dead games, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, you know, Nazi zombies in Call of Duty, which now they don't even call Nazi zombies anymore, it's just zombies, right? All of that was all within like a 5-year range of super popularity, and this was one of the games that was very prominent at the time. 14 years ago, so this was like, again, like 2010-ish, 2000. It was 2010. It was late 2010, I remember. What's wild about this is, like, recently I've been doing a lot of React content to my older gameplay, and I realized almost every game came out in 2010. Like, every big, prominent game was 2010. I'm like, dude, 2010 was the most insane year for games. All these insanely cool, unique games came out in the same year. I mean, what on earth? It was just so crazy. So nothing's really happening. I'm just running around with this teddy bear in my hands. Does anything happen in this video? Oh, here we go. Oh, great. It's a guy just like a big baby and a bra. Oh, that's right. He's getting married forcibly to a woman. And he's a boss. You have to fight him. Here you go.
See, jump now.
Yeah, he's forcibly getting married to a woman. And against her will. And so you have to fight him. He's like a crazy, insane asshole. He's one of the psychopath bosses. He has a chainsaw. Look at this fucking idiot. What's he called? Bunny?
There's a zombie in here.
What? The random zombie?
Yeah.
Randy.
Fuck! He didn't hit me. He didn't hit me.
Oh yeah, the guns are so awkward in this game. The gun, because the controls are purposefully difficult, like to make the game more challenging, and it's so awkward to like aim and shoot with guns in this game, and the ammo is very limited. By the way, look how absolutely awful this looks. Look how bad my camera was back then, right? And people love these videos. I mean, take a look. 34,000 views, right? On a 10-minute video. People loved it. But man, the camera was awful. Look how bad it was. It was all washed out. All the text is unfocused, overexposed.
Keep shooting, he's almost dead. Yes!
It's the fucking mailman's gun.
Oh shit!
Nice.
What's his achievement?
Vigilante justice.
Kill
Defeat
5 psychopaths. Look at this asshole. Do we get his chainsaw?
I think she kills him now.
Revenge time.
We could have been so
Are you
good
fucking
together.
you got caught?
No, that's the blood from his dad.
Our wedding night would have been so.
Oh, she's a zombie
she's a
now?
zombie.
Oh.
Oh. Zombie bride. Looks like the ending to a Tim Burton movie.
So, yeah, it's a pretty dark game. Like, all these crazy psychopaths are doing things because the zombies are taking over, and they do, like, fucked up stuff. Like him, he kidnapped that woman because he wanted to marry her, and then she ends up turning into a zombie and shit. It's really fucked up. But, man, the quality looks terrible, right? Like, I look at this, I'm like, oh, it's so... Like, the gameplay's fine, and the commentary's fine, but the visuals are so atrocious. If only there was... Like, this, even if we were to take a playthrough like this and try to make it better, I don't think we could do that much. Like, we could upscale the resolution, but the overexposure is so bad on the camera that you can't fix that visual. It just looks like shit. I don't know how you even fix that. What a shame. Anyway, let's continue. A camera of him on a roller coaster. Yeah, he's not listening to her rides. Zero reaction.
Oh, you having fun at the fair, Matt?
Yeah, it's alright, but... I mean, it's no game of is it that or is it that? Back before it took devs 12 years to make a new video game, for classic consoles like the Sega and the...
What the hell was that intro? That had nothing to do with the video. Can you guess the classic video game or Urban Dictionary term? What was that intro? I have no idea. Anyway.
They were churned out basically within a couple of weeks, meaning there is a huge slew of games for those old consoles, and I have a list of some of those here. I also have Urban Dictionary, a website/social experiment which goes to show what happens if you let anyone on the internet able to edit a dictionary. But can you tell which is which? I've got 22 of these for you to take a look at. Best of luck. Irritating Stick.
That's a game for sure. 100% remember there was a game called Irritating Stick. I don't know why, but I remember there being a game called Irritating Stick. So yes, that is definitely a real game.
Irritating Stick came out on the PlayStation 1 in 1998 and is essentially that bzzzt wire game only spread out over 100 levels. In 2006, Game Revolution named it the worst game of all time. Poseidon's Sacrifice.
No. That is not a video game.
The act of sacrificing toilet paper into the toilet bowl to keep your butt safe and dry from Poseidon's kiss.
Oh, there you go.
As you can probably infer, Poseidon's kiss refers to sphincteral splashback. We can use it in the sentence, I took a heavy shit, but didn't get any splash damage because I performed Poseidon's sacrifice.
There you go.
Kentucky snowstorm.
No, that is an Urban Dictionary term. Yep.
For anyone who thought this might be one of those old fun point-and-click adventure games or something like that, it's actually when a man ejaculates into a ceiling fan.
Great.
Tongue of the Fat Man.
Tongue of the Fat Man. Tongue of the Fat Man. I'm going to go with video game on this one. Tongue of the Fat Man.
A fighting game for the first console I ever played on, and a testament to how ancient I am, the Commodore 64.
Wow.
10 different characters you can play as to take on the titular Fat Man, who often pops up on polls such as these. Porb.
Oh, man, that's tough. That's seriously tough. It totally sounds like an old video game. Porb, right? Doesn't it? It totally sounds like an old video game. You know what? Here's the thing. Even if it is on Urban Dictionary, I bet it's also a game. So I'm going to say video game. fucking shitballs.
When you mean to type porn, but make a mistake. Bathroom.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. No, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Bathroom battleship, that's probably Urban Dictionary.
Battleship.
Yes.
When two friends are in a public bathroom in adjacent stalls taking dumps, each wipes his ass with toilet paper and then proceeds to toss the soiled toilet paper over the top of the stall into his friend's stall in an attempt to hit his friend with the soiled toilet paper. Similar to the game Battleship.
You know, I just stopped watching the video. It's disgusting. I mean, I know that I use scat humor in some of my stuff, but that's really gross. That's fucking really nasty. I don't think I could stand another one. All right, let's do one more, and if it's that bad, I don't think we're going any further. That's pretty disgusting.
Well, clam jam.
Forget it. Let's go to the next video.
Ember Knights is without a doubt one of the best games we have played in 2023. This action roguelike game has you playing...
Okay, so guess what? The reason someone submitted this video is because my wife and I are looking for a co-op game to play. So this video is going to outline 10 really good co-op games from last year that are considered couch co-op, meaning you play with someone right next to you. It's not internet-based co-op, okay? So let's do it. Let's see what these are.
Ember Knights is without a doubt one of the best games we have played in 2023. This action roguelike game has you playing as the coolest flame-headed Ember Knights you will ever see. You'll be fighting through hordes of enemies through 5 different worlds to eventually beat the final boss at the end. There are tons of fantastic enemy types in each world with their own attack patterns and moves. Some of them so much more deadly than the others that we would always yell out to each other when one of these dangerous enemies spawn.
On top of the normal hordes of enemies, there are also a mini-boss and a boss in each level that are fun to fight and present the perfect challenge. This game is pretty tough, as roguelikes tend to be, but it does a fantastic job of continually giving you new skills and abilities to strengthen you along the way. That, combined with constantly replaying worlds, made it possible to push through the levels and make it to the end. Though, admittedly, we currently have over 20 hours and we still haven't beat that last boss.
We know that you guys are always looking for the best games to play together, and we are too, which is why this year we played every single good-looking co-op game that we could get our hands on, and picked the best to share with you in this video, so let's get to it.
We only recently picked up Cassette Beast. If you are a fan of Pokemon and story-driven RPGs, then this should pique your interest. The top-down style is very reminiscent of the old-school Pokemon.
I wonder, I mean, let's be honest, do you think all the co-op games are going to be pixelated retro-style games? Are they all like that now? I wonder.
Games, but with a definite 2023 upgrade. You start the game by washing up on an island with no idea where you are. Come to find out, you are trapped on this island filled with monsters and other poor washed up souls.
The gameplay loop consists of your standard Pokemon stuff. Battling and capturing wild monsters, fighting trainers, completing quests, and trying to find your way off the
No,
island.
I don't think we're going to
Only
play this
instead of
one. If it's a
capturing monsters
Pokemon
inside
clone,
of
I'm
real
not too
prisons,
interested.
You actually record them on a cassette tape and then play it to transform into them and battle as them. The story is interesting. And there is a complex system of type advantages and new moves to master.
Player 2 plays as your
Skip ahead.
have 2 monsters fighting on your team at once, so the difficulty is actually balanced.
The Trine games have long been hailed as fantastic.
Oh, is that how you pronounce it? Trine? I always thought it was Trine. I guess it's pronounced Trine. Okay.
Co-op games. And Trine 5 is no different. This action-adventure puzzle platformer has you playing as the 3 heroes of Trine in its classic side-scrolling formula. The game is bright and colorful with fantastic music and great puzzles. Each of the 3 heroes have their own unique abilities that can be used to solve puzzles, traverse the land, and beat baddies.
Solving the puzzles in this game is always a fun challenge as you try to remember
This
all
is
of the
Trine 5. I'll tell you guys the names of them.
unique moves each character has and how they could be useful in lighting that torch on fire or getting you up that wall. Not to mention, all this makes the 2D platforming...
Again, is it just me? Is every co-op game going to be like an indie-style game? It's indie. It totally feels indie, right?
so much more enjoyable. The story is just okay, but the boss fights are really engaging and fun. Whether you are playing as the thief, the knight, or the wizard, you are bound to have a fantastic time.
When I purchased Chippy and Nopo on sale, I honestly didn't even
Chippy
realize
and Nopo. That's the name of this game. Chippy and Nopo.
that it released in 2023, but it certainly fits the bill of the best games released for that year. This quirky little puzzle game has you working in a factory to assemble toys.
What the heck?
This consists of bringing scattered blocks together and fusing them into the shape shown on the screen. However, the game soon starts adding other features like having to cut blocks apart and paint them different colors.
But some blocks are too heavy to move on your own, so you'll have to carry them together. You will also have to make sure to assemble things in the right order, or you may find that you cannot reach to place where you need to put your next block. Sometimes you may even need to use elevators or jump on other blocks to make sure everything is put together properly. It's a very simple premise, but it's loads of fun and provides a relaxing time, as opposed to some of the intense action of, say, the next game.
Well, we played an early access version of Curse of the Sea Rats and ran into
Curse of the Sea Rats is this one.
some game-breaking bugs. I still think this game absolutely deserves to be on this list. This Metroidvania was a ton of fun. You play as criminals transformed into rats who are offered their freedom in exchange for rescuing the sea captain's son from the evil witch that transformed them into rats.
Again, I mean, we're 4 or 5 games in. They're all like these indie style, not so great, unfinished, almost kind of lack of polish style games, right? Is this really what couch co-op is like today? There's no like high-end couch co-op games anymore?
The game has 4 playable characters, each with their own unique fighting styles, backstories, and different skill trees that serve to set them apart from one another.
The map is filled with tons of different areas to explore and fun challenges to overcome. As a Metroidvania, you will often come upon
It's Metroidvania.
You need a future ability to continue exploring. The boss fights in the game are also fantastic. Whether it is the rat servants of the evil witch or the random other bosses, from the giant crab at the beginning to the octopus in the depths, they always prove to be a fun challenge.
For those fans of Overcooked out there, we have the perfect game. We personally love this genre, and Manic Mechanics is...
Manic Mechanics. So Kat and I watched Overcooked. We watched people playing the first game. And it was 4-player co-op, and we watched maybe 20 minutes of it. We were so bored. We were like, I get it. Like, this is a game that if you're playing it, you're probably highly engrossed in it. But to watch these people play it was like paint drying. It was just like, they got to keep chopping. They got to put it over here. They got to get the plates out. They got to fucking do this. They got to cook. They put it out. Okay, they serve. They come back. They do it again. It's the same loop over and over and over. It is so boring. And I can get it's engaging to play, but I couldn't imagine that being entertaining for an audience. Like, if I couldn't stomach watching it and I was getting super bored, I could just imagine an audience trying to watch us play it, right? So that's why we're not interested. Now, he's saying this is similar to Overcooked.
One of the best out there. This bright and colorful game has you working to repair vehicles by painting doors, pumping tires, and creating electric engines. You will work on a bunch of different vehicles,
from cars
to submarines,
it's
and
atrociously
even
bad.
UFOs.
You will constantly face new obstacles, from electrified flooring to spilled paint and alien abduction. However, what set this one apart for us was the control scheme. While many other Overcooked-like games simply have you mash a button as fast as you can, Manic Mechanics had a different button or movement you had to do to complete each action, like moving the joystick back and forth to paint and timing your presses for the best efficiency.
We both loved the new Super Mario Bros. Wii game growing up, so we were incredibly
I
excited
mean,
to
obviously,
play Super Mario
Wonder. And I played it, and I loved it. And it would probably be fun for co-op, but I just played it, so obviously I'm not going to go back and play that again right now. What's this one?
December.
River Tales Stronger Together.
Also did not disappoint. I don't know if I can use that same phrase for 2 games in a row, but we're going for it. This colorful 3D platformer has you playing as an adorable fish and cat.
A fish
that need to
and
work
cat?
together to accomplish their
Oh,
goals.
that's cool.
The entire game is designed in a way where you constantly have to help each other out.
Oh, I think I like
Whether
this.
it is the fish lifting lily pads for the cat to jump on, or the cat scaring away piranhas whose life goal is to eat a tasty meal.
While there are some pretty challenging bits in the game, it is an excellent adventure that everyone should try. There are
I think I actually like this one. So this is called, what was it called? River Tales? And what platforms was it for?
I don't know if I can use
Oh,
that
come
same-
on. I fucking skipped the title.
We have been following River Tales Stronger Together.
PC consoles planned 1 to 2 players. So if we're going to do this, we'd have to figure out a way to do it on the PC, which we can't right now. I don't think that I have, I'd have to think about this. We'd have to plug in 2 controllers to the mini PC. I don't even know if we could. I don't know how many USB ports that thing has. Honestly, I don't know. I have to look into this. If this comes to consoles, I think this is good. River Tales Stronger Together. Everyone remember that name. This looks good. I think we would both love this one.
For years.
A cat and a fish working together to do stuff is kind of cool.
It is an excellent adventure that everyone should try. There are constantly new co-op mechanics being introduced.
What do you mean? Use 2 Xbox controllers, you don't need USB. Then how does it sync to the PC? What are you talking about? Of course it needs USB. What are you talking about?
And the whole game is filled with gorgeous environments to explore with hidden owls designed by Kickstarter supporters to find all over the place. If you are looking for a very cooperative 3D platformer, then look no further.
Yeah, this is
While
kind of cool.
JRPGs are not generally our cup of tea, Trinity Trigger just had something about it that really made me want to play. This classic 90s inspired adventure has you controlling 3 characters burdened with tasks from the gods and your standard random quests along the way. There are tons of secrets to find, fun dungeons to explore and move your way through, and some fantastic boss fights at the end of those dungeons.
Each of the characters has their own part.
I hate to say it, out of all the games we've watched, the only one that looks kind of a little creative is the River Tales or River Creatures one, because it's a cat and a fish creatively doing stuff together, which I've never seen that in a game before. Every other game just follows a boring archetype you've already seen a million times and just looks just uninspired. Seriously.
Magical creature with the ability to transform into 8 different types of weapons for your use. Not only do these weapons perform differently in combat, but they also provide a way for you to progress through previously locked areas, similar to TMs in Pokemon.
It syncs through Bluetooth. What makes you think that my mini PC has a Bluetooth thing inside of it? It's a mini PC, dude. It's got minimalist components. It doesn't have Bluetooth in it. So I'd still need USB in order to hook it up with a Bluetooth adapter. So no, I need 2 USB ports to use controllers for that. River Stories, it was called. River Stories. That looked good.
The only disappointing thing worth mentioning is that you will need to play solo for about 2 hours to unlock co-op.
My Little Universe is not like any of the other games
My
on this
Little
list.
Universe.
It doesn't have a fantastic story or really great co-op mechanics, but it let us relax. We booted this game for the first time after playing a game that was making me incredibly frustrated, and the immediate sense of relief that came with its soothing, easy gameplay made it endearing. It is a great game to play together if you just want to do something, but not worry about whether you need to do it well.
This game follows a very simple gameplay
Okay.
loop. Gather materials, expand your land so you can gather more materials to expand your land, and upgrade your tools so that you can gather more materials faster. Your goal is to restore all of the land in every world. It's easy and incredibly simple, but the real power of this game comes in just how relaxing it is, and the sense of accomplishment you get as you unlock each little piece of land and discover the new resources you need to unlock the next thing. Remember, it's only a waste of time if you don't enjoy it.
Yeah, alright, so that one seems alright. That would be like a relaxation game. There's no story or anything. My Little Universe, it was called. So the River Stories was one, and My Little Universe is the other. Out of all those games, those are the only 2 that even look like they would even be interesting. Why is it that all these co-op games today, they're all the same? It's the same kind of indie game you've seen a million times. It's the same one you've probably already played before. They're not very inspired, and that's kind of sad. No wonder you don't hear about couch co-op games anymore. They exist, but they're all following the same archetypes, the same things that have been done. The one that innovated was a cat and fish co-oping, experience. That sounds interesting to me, but all right, anyway, it's time to split the parts. So thank you all for watching DSP versus the internet. I hope you were enjoying the show. 1 more hour to go. Thanks, and I'll see you in part 5.